to shoulder.
This is our turf.
We can have a problem here. To ensure this vast swathe of ocean remains peaceful for generations to come.
Hey, lovely viewers, welcome to our channel Shows Update. Breaking news, NCIS universe unfolds with surprising returns and revealing origins. In a stunning twist, Mark Harmon's surprise return to NCIS has finally shed light on one of the series' most burning questions: what really happened to Ziva during her dramatic exit? As fans reel from this revelation, the franchise faces a bittersweet moment with the news of NCIS Hawaii, My Lady Jane, and The Acolyte being among the most disappointing cancellations of 2024. Meanwhile, excitement builds for NCIS Season 22 as it introduces an updated theme song, serving as a heartfelt tribute to Gibbs' longest ally. Plus, don't miss the exclusive trailer for NCIS Origins, where a newly minted Agent Gibbs takes us back to 1991, promising an unforgettable look at the roots of the beloved franchise. Dive into the full story to uncover all the latest twists and turns in the NCIS saga. The greatest question regarding Origins is answered by Mark Harmon's unexpected return to NCIS. Unexpectedly, it has been revealed that NCIS star Mark Harmon will make a surprise appearance in the first episode of the prequel series NCIS Origins. With his return, a long-standing mystery regarding the spin-off may finally be resolved. Austin Stoll was revealed as the younger Gibbs in the lead role of the prequel spin-off 2 months after it was first announced in January of this year. The plot of NCIS Origins will focus on Leroy Jethro Gibbs's early years as an agent in the field, learning from his seasoned mentor and NCIS legend, Mike Franks. It's official now that Mark Harmon will make a brief comeback for NCIS Origins. Fans of the original series were undoubtedly thrilled to hear about the spin-off, which promises to explore the mystery behind Gibbs and present a truly amazing story. What thrilled them even more was the news that Harmon would not only narrate the series but also serve as its producer. Even so, it didn't completely ease the pain of Mark Harmon leaving NCIS, which is why it's such wonderful news that he will be coming back, albeit for a special episode. Not only would it be wonderful to see him again, but it also provides an explanation for the prequel series' unresolved mystery: why is he repeating the story? Mark Harmon's appearance in the NCIS Origins premiere explains why he is narrating the story of the prequel. The remainder of the series is set up largely by his brief appearance. Mark Harmon making an appearance on NCIS Origins just for the purpose of making a cameo would be strange. It wouldn't improve the show in any way, and it would be wasteful to have Harmon return without a compelling reason. Rather, Harmon's cameo as the grizzled version of Leroy Jethro Gibbs will probably be essential in establishing the stage for the remainder of the narrative. Harmon's narrating the prequel series has long been announced, but it's unclear how or why he will do it. Given the recent announcement of his on-screen debut, it seems quite likely that this will serve as the preface to his narration, explaining why he is recounting his life's events prior to joining NCIS. Why old Gibbs is reviewing his past in NCIS Origins. There are several ways to configure the framework. Although the specifics of that prequel framework are yet unknown, we may assume that Gibbs will be relaying his story to someone when he returns in the future, played by Mark Harmon. There are a few approaches that make sense and mesh well with his persona and narrative. Early in NCIS Season 19, Leroy Jethro Gibbs left law enforcement, and Mark Harmon left the program. Gibbs' departure caused controversy since he circumvented the law to accomplish it, avoiding the FBI agent who was assisting them on the hitman investigation, Alden Parker, and acting as the hitman's driver in return for information. Gibbs had breached the law to solve the case, which they did, but Parker refused to put him under arrest. Following the case, which had led him and the team to Alaska, Gibbs made the decision to stay since he had at last found serenity there. Now that he's moved on from the past, it's possible that the setup of NCIS Origins will involve Gibbs telling his narrative to a therapist in order to finally start the difficult process of processing his pain. That would be a fantastic method to demonstrate how much the reticent and uncompromising Gibbs has matured since the start of the series. Another possibility is that he's just telling his story to a new friend he met in Alaska, but given Gibbs' character, that seems improbable. Where did Ziva actually go after leaving NCIS? NCIS, Tony and Ziva, an intriguing new spin-off, will launch next year, continuing the NCIS saga. The new spin-off series begins up years after Tony DiNozzo left the NCIS team and Ziva David was rumored to have died. The pair is now reunited in Paris, raising their daughter Tolly. The beloved couple will be the focus of the upcoming series as they battle to find their happy ending while having to flee from enigmatic attackers. But what precisely transpired with Ziva on NCIS? How did she pose as deceased? Why did she abandon Tony and her kid, leading them to assume she was dead, as well as her closest friends? It's time to delve deeply into what transpired before Ziva in NCIS pretended to be dead and vanished from sight. NCIS Season 13, Ziva David was thought to have been killed by Trent Court. Ziva David seems to be killed in a mortar attack on her home during the NCIS Season 13 finale, Family First, which is orchestrated by Trent Court, the renegade ex-CIA agent. Tony finds out in the episode that he and Ziva have a daughter named Tolly. Tony was unaware that Ziva was expecting their child and had already departed from NCIS. Because she didn't want to interfere with Tony's life, Ziva withheld the news about their daughter from him, according to her friend, Mossad director Orly Elbaz. After meeting his daughter in the episode, Tony learns that Ziva tells Tolly who he is when she names Tony, who is Hebrew for father, ABA, after spotting a picture of the two of them together. Family First closes with DiNozzo and the rest of the NCIS team finding Court and shooting him to death in retaliation for Ziva's passing. Heartbroken over Ziva's passing, Tony gives up his badge and pistol and quits NCIS, bringing an end to Weatherly's 13-year tenure on the show. It appears that Tony and Ziva's romance is over as he chooses to concentrate on parenting Tolly and becoming a father. That is, of course, until Season 16. Is Ziva still alive, I wonder? In the cliffhanger sequence of the Season 16 finale, Daughters, Cote de Pablo makes her comeback to NCIS. She unexpectedly shows up alive and well in front of her old friend and superior officer, Leroy Jethro Gibbs, Mark Harmon, alerting him to his impending danger. A multi-episode plot that begins in Season 17 reveals what happened to Ziva and how she staged her apparent death. Because Ziva was the target of a dangerous operator named Sahar Louise Barnes, she staged her death and fled. With the intention of exacting revenge on Ziva for the passing of Ari Haswari, Rudolph Martin, Ziva's half-brother, Sahar marked Ziva for death. Ari turned bad earlier in the series, turning into a double agent and working for terrorist groups, notably Zahar's. Back in 2005, following a dispute with Gibbs, Ziva killed him. Zahar blamed Gibbs and Ziva for Ari's demise as a result of the incident. In an attempt to subtly bring down the organization, Ziva resorted to the extreme of pretending to be dead and lying to her loved ones to protect them from Zahar. In Season 17, Ziva and Gibbs team together once more to defeat Zahar and her splinter faction. In The North Pole, the 17th season episode, it is revealed that Zahar has been raising her son Phineas in secret next door to Gibbs. Later, Ziva is trapped in an abandoned warehouse by the recently emerged Zahar, who battles her. Gibbs shows up right on schedule to put an end to Zahar forever. The next episode, In the Wind, marks Ziva's last canonical NCIS appearance, as she helps the team locate and rescue a kidnapped Phineas. Before departing to travel to Paris and meet up with Tony and Tolly, Ziva says goodbye to her friends at NCIS. NCIS, Tony and Ziva resumes with the Paris-dwelling couple. As far as NCIS, Tony and Ziva is concerned, it seems like things continue for Ziva where they left off. She is back with Tony, and the couple is raising their daughter in Paris. However, the family must go on the run across Europe when Tony's security company is attacked. Tony and Ziva must figure out who is targeting them and learn to trust one another to finally achieve their happily ever after. The official synopsis suggests that Tony still doubts Ziva's love for him since she did not inform him about their daughter and faked her death. A significant part of the series will be about Tony struggling to regain his trust in Ziva. NCIS, Tony and Ziva marks a welcome return for Ativa shippers. Considering how things left off with Tony and Ziva in the NCIS series, it's great to see the cast members returning as their iconic, fan-favorite characters. Especially since their relationship was unfinished and unresolved. The series never even depicted Tony and Ziva getting back together, and it never truly exploited the romance between the couple, dubbed Tiva by NCIS fans. It's exciting that Weatherly and De Pablo will finally headline a brand new series where Tony and Ziva's relationship takes center stage. Most disappointing TV cancellations of 2024, NCIS, Hawaii, My Lady Jane, The Acolyte and more. Pretty Little Liars, My Lady Jane and Star Wars, The Acolyte are just some of the show's fans lost in 2024 that they don't think they should have. Prime Video's My Lady Jane was a radical reimagining of Lady Jane Grey's, Emily Bader, very brief time as monarch. In this version of events, Jane and husband Guilford, Edward Blumel, aren't beheaded. The twist? Certain people are able to transform into animals in this universe and the fun doesn't end there. I think I heard someone say that every tortured female heroine in history deserves a rom-com written about her. I think they really do, Bader told TV Insider in June 2024. We're focusing on the female gaze in a way that I think is really fun and unexpected. The Tudor times were, you could say, bleak, so it needed a little bit of fun. I think it's just such a refreshing take on a female story. Bader, Blumel and the rest of the cast were excited at the prospect of continuing the story, so the show's cancellation 2 months later came as a surprise. Star Wars, The Acolyte is wildly different in tone and content, but it faced the same fate. The popular Disney series wasn't renewed for a second season, despite Amanda Stenberg and Manny Jacinto receiving an outpouring of support from viewers who appreciated the fresh take on the Star Wars franchise. Keep scrolling for all the shows whose cancellations left us devastated in 2024. Our Flag Means Death. Set in the early 18th century, Our Flag Means Death followed the misadventures of a gentleman and his crew as they tried to make a name for themselves as pirates. The show was loosely based on the life of Stede Bonnet and ran for 2 seasons after premiering on HBO Max in March 2022. However, the show was cancelled in January 2024. Minx stars. This was just one of those shows that never stood a chance. Set in the 1970s, Minx told the story of a young feminist who joined forces with a low-rent publisher to create the first erotic magazine for women. Minx premiered on Max in 2022 and was renewed for a second season. The network changed their mind by the end of the year, canceling the already filming second season. The series was then picked up by Starz, a short-lived win for fans. Minx was cancelled once again in January 2024, NCIS, Hawaii, CBS. NCIS, Hawaii premiered in 2021 as a spin-off of NCIS, which is still airing new episodes on CBS. The show was the first NCIS spin-off with a female lead. Vanessa Lachey played Special Agent in Charge Jane Tennant, who ran a team of elite special agents on the island of Oahu. Us Weekly confirmed in April that CBS was not renewing NCIS, Hawaii for a 4th season. Since the news broke, fans have been fighting to save the show, to no avail. Walker. Supernatural fans were ecstatic when Jared Padalecki wrapped up his turn as Sam Winchester only to immediately score a role on another The CW. Padalecki portrayed Cordell Walker on the reboot of the 1990s Western drama Walker, Texas Ranger, for 4 seasons. The show built itself a decent following before Nexstar acquired the network in August 2022, which led to most of the CW's original programming being cancelled. To make matters worse, Walker ended just as the show introduced James Van Der Beek in the role of a lifetime as a potential cult leader. Evil a Paramount. Evil followed a group of people who are tasked by the Catholic Church to investigate possible supernatural incidents. The supernatural drama, which starred Katya Herbers, Mike Coulter and Asif Mandvi, premiered on CBS in 2019 and moved to Paramount Plus after its first season. Despite critical acclaim, Evil received a shortened 5th and final season. That 4-episode run is set to wrap up in August 2024. The cast, however, has remained confident that Evil could find a new home at another streaming service and hasn't given up hope of making that happen. Wolfpack Paramount. While a show about supernatural wolves in Los Angeles isn't everyone's cup of tea, seeing Sarah Michelle Gellar return to her paranormal roots in this drama definitely is. Wolfpack followed the aftermath of a California wildfire that ended with 2 teenagers turned into werewolves. As Everett and Blake adapted to their new normal, Chief Arson Investigator Kristen Ramsey looked for answers about what really caused the catastrophe. The show premiered in January 2023, and Paramount confirmed 1 year later there would be no second season. My Lady Jane. This radical historical reimagining flipped the Tudor era on its head, asking what would happen King Henry VIII's son Edward didn't die of tuberculosis, how would the world be different if Lady Jane Grey wasn't beheaded, and what if historical England was full of shapeshifters? While fans came for the chemistry between the leads, they stayed for the campy storylines and the horse, if you know, you know. Mere weeks after My Lady Jane premiered on Prime Video, the streaming service confirmed in August 2024 that they wouldn't be ordering another season. The news came as a surprise given the show's extensive online fan base. Bader was subsequently cast as the lead of Netflix's adaptation of Emily Henry's novel People We Meet on Vacation, while Blumel booked a role in Seven Dials Mystery. Star Wars: The Acolyte, Disney+. The Acolyte, which premiered on Disney+ in June 2024, shows the galaxy far, far away before the events of the Skywalker saga. A series of murders lead Jedi Master Sol, Lee Young-jae, to reconnect with former pupil Osha and her not-so-dead twin sister, May. Sol quickly learns that sinister forces are at play as May's history with a mysterious Sith master is uncovered. It didn't take long for The Acolyte to find its audience, as viewers returned every week to see more of Jacinto's scene-stealing performance as the Stranger. Jacinto and Stenberg had incredible chemistry from episode 1, an on-screen spark that grew into a wildfire by the season finale. The Pretty Little Liars reboot, which debuted on Max in 2022, picked up where the original series left off by introducing Imogen, Tabby, Farron Mouse and Noah as they get tormented by a murderous stalker named A. Season 1 of the show was titled OG Sin, while the sophomore season became Summer School. Pretty Little Liars was always raising the stakes while finding the time to tell inclusive stories about the fan-favorite characters at the center of the series. The Season 2 finale hinted at what villain to look out for next season, featuring several scenes of a menacing group wearing masks representing each liar. Fans won't get the answers they are looking for since Max canceled the show in September. NCIS Season 22's updated theme song is an extended tribute to Gibbs' longest ally. NCIS's newest theme song is a welcome update and includes a subtle and touching tribute to one of Gibbs' oldest friends. The new theme song will premiere in NCIS Season 22 and will still include parts of the old song, but with added elements to make it the most sentimental theme song in the series yet. The changes to the theme song were made to honor an important person in Gibbs' life, adding an emotional layer to the nostalgia. Apart from the new theme song, NCIS Season 22 will feature several other exciting new changes to the show. Season 21 left a lot of unanswered questions, and with NCIS cast changes, potential character exits, and new plot lines, there is a lot to look forward to. But perhaps the most important aspect of the newest season is the meaning behind the nostalgic theme song that honors Gibbs' longest ally. NCIS Season 22's updated theme song references David McCallum. The new song references McCallum's career beyond NCIS. Exclusive NCIS Origins trailer, a newly minted Agent Gibbs reports for duty in 1991. Did a young Leroy Jethro Gibbs join up with NIS-2 soon after the tragic deaths of his wife Shannon and their daughter Kelly? That valid question is at the fore of the first trailer for NCIS Origins, CBS prequel spin-off premiering Monday, October 14th at 9/8C, with its first 2 episodes, and TV Line has your exclusive first look above. Opening in the year 1991, NCIS Origins follows a young Gibbs as he starts his career as a newly minted special agent at the NIS Camp Pendleton office. There, he will forge his place on a gritty, ragtag team led by the legendary Mike Franks. Austin Stoll, a friend of the family, secret life of the American teenager, fills the role of Gibbs, while Kyle Schmid channels a young Muse Watson as Franks. The series' regular cast also includes Mariel Molino, Promised Land, as Special Agent Lala Dominguez, a former Marine with a dark sense of humor, Tyla Abercrombie as Field Operations Support Officer Mary Jo Hayes, who has wryly dubbed herself HSIC, Diane Rodriguez as Special Agent Vera Strickland, a no-nonsense Brooklynite who's tough as nails, and Caleb Foote as Special Agent Benjamin Randy Randolph, the golden boy tasked with showing Gibbs the ropes. Also glimpsed in the trailer is Longmire vet Robert Taylor as Jackson Gibbs, Jethro's hard-nosed father, and Bobby Moynihan as lead forensics analyst Woody Brown, while Patrick Fischler can be heard in the trailer's opening moments as Cliff Walker, the special agent in charge who oversees NIS' fledgling Pendleton office. NCIS Origins, see photos of the cast and the spin-off's very 1990s set. To freshen your memory, Gibbs joined NIS not long after completing his tour in Operation Desert Storm and retiring, all while mourning Shannon and Kelly, both of whom were murdered by drug dealer Pedro Hernandez while Gibbs was still overseas, about to return home. Mark Harmon will not appear in the series, but serves as its narrator. His son, Sean Harmon, who has played young Gibbs in NCIS flashbacks and came up with the idea for the prequel, will also serve as an EP alongside co-showrunners Gina Lucida Monreal and David J. North. Thanks for watching this videos. Please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up.